Hello, fellow expansionists. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Anomaly Death Cult, episode 38, Running Out of Room. Rooms to be granitized. Crafting room. And ritual room. Mech room. Maybe not research room, because it might get sterile at some point. But that's a start. Alternatively, we could also consider, like, double-walled defense, maybe? I don't know. How should I use the granite? Double-walled defenses, additional dead life entryway, flooring, or other viewer suggestions. So double wall defenses, what I would do is I would have it be like airlocked pockets. So something like this, where we have a second wall with like sections like this, so that it's harder to like breach the entire base with it, you know, sectioned off. And I would even go so far as to put in like stop gaps like that, so that if and when we do have a breach, it can be way more easily contained, because that's been an issue of ours. I could build a dead life entryway. I could do flooring. You know, it's up to you guys. Yeah, I'll add a containment facility. That works too. And this would essentially become another goal of ours. All right, self-tame boomalope. Let's go teach that boomalope. That's a bad idea. Looks like we're finally getting around to butchering some of the thrumbo. Brady Bill's been working on that backlog for a while now. Rackdust is now blood bagged, so he won't prison break or violent mental break. And it seems to me like the containment facility is far and above the most popular option. So I think what I want to do is, for the really dangerous entities, which we haven't really interacted with yet, but surely we will, I can almost guarantee it. For the super dangerous entities, I think I would like to have individual containment cells so that their breakout timers are few and far between. I think that makes the most sense from a defensive standpoint. So the next question I have for you guys is, well, actually, no, I'll start working on that. So recover. At this point, I think we've recovered. So build a containment facility. I think I want to build a few. And I want to build it like a Supermax style. Aren't bioferrite walls better? Yeah, they're better, but they're also more expensive. So the bioferrite walls is a max HP of 600. Right? And the granite walls would be 510. Obviously, when we're talking affordability, there's a huge difference. Plastic walls, for reference, is 840, so they're even better than bioferrite walls. Uranium might be a little bit more affordable at 750. If you really want to get meta, unmined stuff is higher. Like compacted machinery is 2K, right? Compacted steel, compacted stuff is even higher than anything that you can build, but like it's really hard to plan to have, right? Like I could hypothetically have a 1500 wall security here, but like this is so far away from the base, it'd be ridiculous. So I think what I would prefer to do is design it in such a way that we can, in the future, once we have really expensive materials, potentially line it. So something like this. I'll just throw out an example. We don't have a lot of physical space here, but that's another concern of mine is like I don't have a good place to put it. I think we're going to need to do an annexation to the base. But like let's say I have a holding platform here, and I wanted it to be a supermax, right? So we would want an electro inhibitor, at least one, attached to it. And then we would want bioferrite floors. Something like this. A place to interact with it. You know, to build the bare minimum. So the idea would be that if I have it wider than it needs to be, something like this, we can line it with a better material on the inside later along those lines. But I think regardless of what I end up doing, I need more physical space. And that is something that I think warrants us working on first. Because I'm just like physically out of areas to build. So we're going to do a mixed external wall to be able to afford that. Unfortunately, some of this is going to be like wooden, and it's unavoidable until I get moisture pumps. Like that. That will give us a lot more space. And it uses a lot of the natural terrain so that I don't necessarily have to build the whole thing. It does have a weak corner here, but what I can do is I can cut that weak corner off. Like that. And if I ever moisture pump it, I can make it rectangular. Same over here, if I end up mining that out. This is granite, which is a tougher material. It also adds this corrupted obelisk to inside our walls, which will make it easier to suppress, which has its own benefits. Oh, you know, I might want to make the gateway over a little bit so that I don't run into the obelisk itself. Let's put the gate over here. So same sort of gateway as we had elsewhere. Just a line of sight blocker so shooters can't shoot all the way in. We'll do a granite door, and then we'll do a wooden door airlock. Just a simple, unpowered design. Okay. I use granite. I just have a lot of granite, and granite is tougher than limestone. Not by a ton, but by a hit or two. Because I also just bought a ton of granite, so I have granite to spare. Jazz, you are... Yeah, you're constructing. Good. So most of the entities I have right now aren't super dangerous. I would say the Revenant's probably the most dangerous. It's definitely the most annoying if it gets out. But there are entities that are going to need to be contained better than just like in a shared space. Well, not necessarily, but it does reduce their their breakout timers. So for reference here, the time at which the entity escapes, its escape interval, is lowered by the length of their captivity and increased by their containment strength. So if you have a very, very strong containment area, you get to keep... You essentially block them from escaping regularly. Which is important, because the really dangerous ones escaping regularly is annoying. And I don't want it to be annoying. Jazz on low hemogen. Yeah, I don't have a lot of blood bags. Unconscious? Yeah, that's fine. So once this external wall is built, I will break down this limestone one, as it will no longer be needed. It'll become obsolete. I just wanted to build the external one first so that we have some sort of perimeter. How do I come up with goals for mine? For this specific series, without BSing you, it was just that Anomaly was releasing, and I streamed it the day of, and I had no idea, other than what was released in information, as to what Anomaly would contain. So the goals I came up with were essentially just like it will be a bunch of evil people that want power. A very, very straightforward and simple one. For other series that are a little bit more complex, I come up with more complex goals, depending on what I think would be entertaining. So, I think of it. I know, I know that's not a very good answer, but, you know, it's the one I can offer. It says cold temp can increase containment on some entities. Yeah. So here are the factors. You have the door HP, the wall HP that is averaged, how many holding platforms it has, what facilities are installed, whether it's lit or not, and then, whoa, my shorts just really ripped. And then there are some that are easier containing in cold temperatures. So I could incorporate a freezer, but that is sort of special needs and would be better suited for us to retrofit a previous one and install a freezer. The problem is, in my opinion, freezers and by extension vents are very low HP, right? So it's very difficult to have a freezer in a containment facility and have that containment facility actually be locked down. A lot of the times, the benefit of the cold temperatures don't outweigh the fact that freezers and vents have super low HP. Because super low HP at like 100 means it's easy to break out of. Uh-oh. Yep, okay, we have a bunch of rotted corpses here, which triggered lung rot. At some point, I might want to change the butchery so that it's a bit better suited for dealing with here, get out of there. I was not looking enough. What's annoying is wasters look rotted as they are, which makes it really challenging to figure out who's rotted and who's just a waster. Okay, so we're hauling some of the nasty corpses out. Whether I dead life dust them in the future or not, I'll leave up to you. But what I'm doing is I'm moving it so that my the butchery or the kitchen rather, will no longer have corpses, so that we have more space for meat, because the meat's what's been propping open the doors. So fresh, 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 fresh. Okay, they're all fresh. So all we need to do is 10 Brady Bill, make sure he doesn't die of the lung rot, and then get back to business as usual. I don't have heaters in my giant hallway, so that's another thing I want to add, because I don't want my my beer brewing to go bad. Okay, so that change is going to help a lot, I think. So now we have space for the meat, and we shouldn't end up with situations where we are filled up and boiling over. I do want to eventually freeze this room here. There's just not a good place to put an exhaust port. Unless, like, I build a chimney, which would be interruptive where it currently is. So I may want to do a little bit of remodeling at some point. Moving some shelves around and expanding the area a little bit. Let's move our dead as well. Okay, the northern wall is done, though. So let's go ahead and deconstruct the old gate so that I can actually build the containment facility. I haven't forgotten about what my priority is. Don't worry. Oops, that didn't work. Alright, this will be a little bit better. We'll be able to inset the butchery table and add AC to it. Okay. I'm going to keep super hauling on for now, except for my constructors, because we have a lot of materials outside that would be helpful to pull into the base. All right, looks good. Let's move Big Brandy so that the freezer is a little bit more open and spacious. It's too bad I can't Well, yeah. I'll let you just keep that for now. What I was thinking is the Psychic Lance would be nice to have back, but I would have to strip the entire corpse. Yeah, I'm just going to strip the entire corpse. It's fine. I'd rather have the lance. No, don't consume her. Alright, why aren't you burying? There we go. Ambrosia Sprout. Yet another? Wow, that's a small one. All free drugs are good drugs, right? Just, I expected more than this. Okay, well, that problem with the lung rot has been solved. Still need a little bit of tending here. But maybe what we'll do is no longer have forced bed rest, so that goes back to work. With the new wall constructed, I can also summon in some shamblers. And the colonists in the colony are in a good enough mood that I don't think it's going to cause any like mental breaks or anything like that. And with this additional space, we also gain the ability to offer a little bit more food to our horses, because they'll have a larger pen. Because the previous pen was a bit too small. This new pen should be okay. And if it's not, oh well. Yeah, the growth is enough. Good. And I really like adding the obelisk to our physical boundaries of our base so that it's suppressible. In fact, I would even consider, at some point, creating a hallway here that also adds this geothermal geyser. Because our colony doesn't really... I mean, we're not going to be in a situation where we're going to want to deactivate the obelisks, right? We like them. They grant us power, in a way. So... leaving it seems reasonable to me. Just noticed that Carthrain can do another lay on hands. Try to get Avalka's ear back. And it's back. Her hearing is restored. So, containment facilities. I think what I'll do is I'll just try to have them designed aesthetically. As like a sort of supermax. So if we have, I'm going to prototype it. I might come up with a few different designs, but let's say we have a holding platform. This gives room for electric inhibitors. Like quite a lot if we need them. And then I'm going to have a door up top. So that's a lot of inhibitors, potentially. I mean, obviously, you can have inhibitors point in every direction for, like, a ridiculous level of Supermax. What I could do in this case is design one that is just, like, absolutely maxed out. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask you. How should I design the facilities? With multiple reasonable facilities... or one absolutely min-maxed facility. I'll let you vote on that. If there's an entity that you guys think needs absolutely ridiculously min-maxed, that's fine too. So should, essentially, am I designing reasonable accommodations or like worst case scenario doomsday level min-maxed ones? We're almost done hauling in the blocks, and then I can take off high priority hauling. And a Psychic Soothe. You know, let's celebrate that Psychic Soothe with a... So Skip Abduction is on a 3-day. Flesh Beast is on a 19-hour. Let's do some Draw Shamblers. Ooh, there's a lot of rotted corpses. We filled up the stockpile. There's probably a lot more corpses out there, like, out of the... Yeah, I could see some of them. Out of the base that just... we could grab. Ooh, nice! This dude had a crisis of belief and is down to 11%. I might be able to actually just do a regular old conversion with Jazz to hit the rest. I'll take a look at that. Alright, Drawing Shamblers is complete. And for now, I'm going to have everyone forced inside. So what is my inside zone? My inside zone obviously can include this entire freezer. The internal doors here, let's go ahead and turn them into granite. Apparently I ran out of sandstone while doing them. Technically that's like inside but not safe or secured. But it will be eventually. Okay. And then the inside zone can also include this new section. It looks like this needs power. There was like a tree there, and it interrupted the power. Got it. Okay, that looks about right. You guys want multiple reasonable facilities? Copy that. So these facilities here can hold up to 6 each. And they're kind of like a min-sec. Think of them as minimum security. So I'm going to design higher level security facility for the holding platforms here. So we'll do... I'll build, let's say, 3 of them. So in this types of facility, if we want to do bioferret harvesting, we can. It can be added in here. And then we have the space for a bunch of inhibitors as well. I thought I had an inhibitor. Is it just powered off? Maybe I don't. The floors can be bioferrite plate. The walls will be made of granite, which is a slightly cheaper. And then if we need inhibitors, I can hook up a whole bunch of inhibitors. Maybe what I'll do is I'll have the security door... No, I guess I like where it is. Alright, where's my shamblers? 39 shamblers from the west. Alright, wake up everybody. It's go time. Actually, before we do that, Mr. Jazz. If I did a convert here... Oh yeah, perfect. Jazz will be a little late to the fight. Okay. You are going to be recruited now. Let's go, Shambies. I like how some of the Shamblers just like haven't gotten the notice yet that we're fighting. Let's make sure not to stand on the corpses for lung rot reasons. And we're doing this mostly for the shells, the shards rather. I'm hoping to get shards off this. I'm not holding my breath. My guys like to just do periodic rituals anyway. It keeps them happy. There's an expectation of periodic rituals, so even if this doesn't yield any useful resources, keeping my cultists happy running rituals is like a good thing. Alright, there's a few more over yonder. I just want to get away from these the corpse lung rot. And one thing we could do is any blood bags that have spare lungs, maybe harvest their lungs and give it to Brady Bill. So that Brady Bill doesn't require, like bionic lungs or anything like that. Just good old organic ones that we harvest off of dead people. Or soon-to-be dead people, or blood bags, or whatever. So one shard. That's something. That's basically what I've come to expect off of summoning Shamblers, is you get a single shard. Just totally fine. Would a natural healing heal lung rot? I think it would, actually. Yeah, so maybe I go ahead and do that. Rather than the harvest lungs, I can just heal it with the unnatural healing. That's a good call. No, one got back up. I guess some were, like, down but not dead. I think he was probably the only one. I do find it, I don't know about you guys, but I find it, like, actually difficult to tell with the Shamblers, like, what's dead and what's downed. Maybe that's just a me thing. I don't know. So what was this, 6? So the security doors are probably the most expensive part of this design. But it's not ridiculously unreasonable. Also, the bioferrite floors is relatively expensive as well. And then each one of these buildings will want a light. Because light helps to keep them in line. Oh, and I can already do another draw flesh beast. So did I? Yeah, so I do have some twisted meat here. And then one thing I have not yet done, which maybe what I'll do is I'll have Valka focus on, is making the actual serums. Another bulk goods trader. Honestly, I don't really know if there's other bulk goods that we are able to trade at the moment. We don't have a lot of spare stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on. There's, I guess, a few old clothing that I could part with. That's about it. So in order to convert people, it wouldn't hurt to have a table and chairs in here for them to eat on. So I'll add that as well. And we have a bunch of people that are starving. Because I think we aren't cooking. Because Brady Bill is doing something else or something. I don't know why we're not cooking. Fine meals, vegetarian and meat. We have the materials. He's just not. He's been working on other things. I think he's been hauling. So I'll take him off of high priority hauling. We have fine meals again. So then hypothetically we could also build shard inhibitors, but I think with my shards, I want to put them in where I want to spend them for the shard beacons. I'm also going to move the skulls out of there. It's a room we don't use very often, and I would rather have skulls where I spend more time. Patsy, thank you for the resub. So let's reinvent this room a little bit while we're at it. I clearly need more blood bags because we just don't have enough blood to go around. There we go. Now we're getting the meals again. Just a matter of bad work priority, and that's my fault. Ooh, thrombos. More thrombos. Game keeps giving me thrombos, and I keep saying yes. Yes, please. Show off my entity codex. Here we go. So I have all the basics and all the obelisks plus Revenant and Chimera. Once I have the containment facilities... Ooh, and as you can see, they are already... they're already kind of set up. Once I have the containment facility set up, what I could do is I can hold you guys about what I should do next in regards to whether or not I summon some additional provocations or take on other tasks. You'll have the opportunity to vote on that in a minute. So let's get these lit. And then the other thing I could do is I can move our Revenant to it. So this containment cell, for instance, has a containment strength of 226. It should be going up a little bit once we have light. So 231 with light. So they're all 231. I don't know whether or not the bioferrite plates here would help. I don't think they would because it's not part of the room. So let's go ahead and move the Revenant up there, because I would say the Revenant is definitely more dangerous than the other things that we have in containment here. So there we go. Now, escape interval is even higher. Come on, go to sleep. Yeah, whatever. I don't care if you're sleeping. It's far enough away that I didn't think that the pack revenge would happen. So we have containment facilities. The other way to spend shards, obviously, would be the shard inhibitors, which suppresses entities better. I didn't realize it goes through walls. Apparently, I could have one shard inhibitor here and it hits all 3 containment facilities. That's wild. I really didn't know that. Interesting. And then you have electric inhibitors using electrical power to contain them as well. So I could consider putting a shard inhibitor here to have it hit all 3 platforms at some point. That's not a terrible idea. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Anomaly Death Cult, which originally streamed live on Twitch May 16th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch a next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow cultists.